What is up, everyone? For this Tech Tuesday, we're going to go over the gas engine, electric motor, our gearbox, and the 6-speed gearbox that comes in the GR86. Check these out. As many of you are familiar with, the GR86 and the GT86, the year before this one, came with a Subaru Boxer motor. This is a 2.4 liter flat 4 engine made by Subaru. In the previous gen, it was a 2 liter. As many of you know, they're susceptible to all the common problems that Subaru has. One of the big fixes that we did, we put an electric motor in it. This is our Stealth EV motor. This motor makes about 240 horsepower. This one makes about 500 horsepower. Quite the different packaging. When you look at this motor, all internal combustion engines have thousands of moving parts. Such complexity on this motor, whereas this one has 3 moving parts. You have the rotor and you have the 2 bearings. So super simple as compared to this. When you can get this kind of power package out of something this small that only weighs 80 pounds versus something like this with the complexity it has, given the accomplishments that it's achieved in controlling an explosion, it's impressive it does what it does and stays together as long as it does. The nice thing about going to an electric motor is that the maintenance on this motor is extremely low. The maintenance on this internal combustion engine is extremely high. With an internal combustion engine, you're rebuilding it if it doesn't blow up, probably every few years at least. If you're in extreme use cases, like very, very high horsepower, drag racers rebuild it every run. Some guys rebuild it every year, so most people replace it every year because it blows up. With this, the maintenance on this is super low. You basically change the fluid that lubricates and cools it every year, but other than that, replace the bearings every 1,000 hours. So that is the biggest goal we had with this car, was reducing the cost of ownership. Because purchasing the race car is probably the cheapest part of the race car, if we're all honest with ourselves. In the words of our friend Randy Popes, shifting is pretty much antique now. This single-speed gearbox has made this driving experience in our car such a wonderful one, now that the driver can focus on where the car is going, passing, navigating traffic, and not worrying about what gear that the engine needs to be in to be at its best power band. This single-speed gearbox that we've implemented to mate up to our electric motor has been a real feat of engineering to keep it inside the factory suspension of the GR86. This all sits in the back of the car. These sit in the front of the car with a drivetrain that then passes through the tunnel and then goes into the back. The complexity of having this setup to span the entire chassis has been reduced to just this little setup just in the rear subframe. I, as much as anyone, appreciate rolling through the gears when you really want to feel how the car handles. But why can't we have both? Why can't we have power and delivery of electric and then still have the shifting of gears too? We're car enthusiasts, we like both, but this is new and this is super fun and fast. So this is why we're taking this technology into the SCR1. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on this prototyping journey with the SCR1.